Doctor Who Revolution of the Daleks, the 2021 New Year special, is written by Chris Chibnall and starring Jodie Whittaker, Bradley Walsh, Mindit Gill, Tosin Cole and John Barrowman. So yes, the name of the episode was revealed on the end credits of the previous episode, The Timeless Children, with the return of the Daleks, as well as John Barrowman and Chris North as Captain Jack Harkness and Jack Robertson. It's a Jack episode. In April 2020, Chibnall confirms that post-production was continuing on the episode throughout COVID. On 9th of October 2020, promotional stills from filming were released at a virtual Comic-Con. This episode is directed by Lee Haven-Jones, who also directed Spyfall Part 2 and Orphan 55. This episode was shot at Clifton Suspension Bridge. Apparently the photos and footage recordings of Dalek props on the bridge were leaked by the people passing by during a break in filming. I love the opening episode with the recap of Resolution. The Doctor melted reconnaissance Dalek casing, so 367 minutes later a lorry driver takes the empty casing from GCHQ, Depository 23. He stops to grab a cuppa which put him to sleep, and the woman who just served him put him in the lorry with the Dalek casing. As Joe Patterson has a meeting with Jack Robertson and Leo Bugazzi about the new Dalek drone, there was riots and protesters, and Dalek moving out of the smoke, and the music score is phenomenal. It shows that the Daleks are so terrifying. And it's pretty amusing that they sprayed water and smoke at people. At the house TARDIS, Yaz has been there for 10 months, and it's New Year's Day. So Graham and Ryan came to warn Yaz about the Daleks and Jack Robertson. I love the fact that Yaz calls Jack Robertson a spider guy. I think saying man would be a bit confusing to some, as Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. They confronted Jack, but they get thrown out of the property, having no idea what to do. Meanwhile, in the facility, aka Space Jail, the Doctor has been there for 19 years, in the red suit, doing the routines such as exercising, scratching a mark on a wall, eating, and saying hello to old monsters such as Weeping Angels, and naming Ood and Sigarax as Bonnie and Clyde. Also Tiny the Bating trying to eat a cage. Awesome. I love the fact that she reads the first page of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone book from her head. After 4 knocks, a callback from the end of time, and forgetting the silence was there, Captain Jack is there, and he uses a bubble that doesn't last long. It can go through walls, so he uses it to break the Doctor out of prison. I love the fact that they reuse the line from the Utopia.
Hi! Have you had work done? You can talk. Now shut up and run.
So the Doctor and Jack have arrived back inside the TARDIS. And of course Captain Jack loves the redesign, so they change into normal iconic clothes and arrived home reuniting with Graham, Ryan and Yaz. And it is a great reunion. Yaz pushes the Doctor as it's been 10 months since the last time they saw the Doctor. So the companions warn the Doctor and Captain Jack about the Daleks. And I love the bit where Jack referenced his first death and Rose Tyler. Nice callback.
I come back to life pretty quick. Partially her fault, partially a friend of hers on Earth called Rose. But she's trapped in a parallel universe now.
The bit where Leo has a Dalek on his back possessed and his voice changes is so like Venom. It's so Venom-y. Not that I'm complaining, because I really do love that. Harriet Walter plays Jo Patterson, who's the technology secretary and later became the Prime Minister of UK. She's brilliant. Apparently in Thoughts on the Way, the short story, the character was mentioned to be a Shadow Minister in 2007. He was on Question Time with Harold Saxon, which is interesting. Nathan Stewart Jarrett plays Leo Rukazi, CEO of Rukazi Technology, who created the defense drones, and I think he's great also. So the TARDIS team confronts Robertson on what he's doing. The Dalek casing in the room was empty, and I love Jack Robertson's reaction to the TARDIS. It is pretty entertaining, and I love the moments where Captain Jack and Yaz in Osaka in Japan, when they talk to each other about their time with the Doctor and ended up leaving the Doctor. It is well handled. So they went inside Newton's cloning farm, and I love the fact that he uses his sonic blaster, a callback from The Empty Child and the Dr. Dancer's 2-part story. Captain Jack sets explosive charges on the walkways and giving orders to blow it up. There's an intense bit where the Dalek mutant grabs Jack and Yaz At one point, I thought Jack was going to get his head sliced off in order to become the face of Bo. And there's a nice moment where the Doctor and Ryan have a bit of catch up. Ryan is doing pretty well, him and his dad are reconnecting. As for the Doctor, she still couldn't get over the fact that, she found out her backstory that she has no memory of, and ended up being imprisoned by Jadoon after Death Particle and Co-Sharmus blown up Gallifrey with the Master and Cybermen on. As the TARDIS appeared in Dalek Clone Farm, where Jack and Yaz are, Jack obviously misses that sound. The Dalek-possessed Leo is so terrifying. After he gets killed, the Doctor realises that she is the Doctor and she stops the Daleks, and went back into the TARDIS to stop the invasion, as Jo the Prime Minister does her speech that the Daleks are keeping Great Britain safe. And I thought the design of Defence Drone looks so cool. I really do love the colouring and the lighting effects. As the Daleks are out of control, they assassinated Joe Patterson.
And I do not surrender. Exterminate! This territory is the property of the Daleks.
There's great battle between pure Daleks and mutated Daleks. So Jack Robertson joins Death Squad Dalek and aboard the spaceship. So the Doctor sends Jack, Ryan and Graham to blow it up. Jack Robertson tells the Daleks that the Doctor led them to trap. The bit where there's loads of Daleks flying past the TARDIS is so cool. Sadly, the classic era weren't able to pull that off. And it is pretty smart that the Doctor tricked the Daleks in going into the house TARDIS and it's scrambled up. Jodie Whittaker is so good as the 13th Doctor. She's got brilliant moments and some great lines. So after blowing up the Dalek ship, in the end, Jack Robertson took credit for what the Doctor and her companions did, saving the world from the Daleks. Captain Jack has a bit of catching up with Gwen Cooper. Apparently she fought off a Dalek with her son's boxing gloves as well as mopped. Oh, that's amusing.
Sorry, lost track of time. Gwen Cooper sends her love, by the way.
It really put a smile on my face that Rose Tyler and Gwen Cooper gets mentioned. I really love it. It gives me a bit of nostalgia. As of time recording, that's the last episode we see of Captain Jack, and it's really a shame on what's been happening to him after the episode release. The fact that he hasn't hurt anyone, he hasn't abused anyone at all. He does what he does, it's what makes him so funny. A lot of people laughed at it. Sadly, some took offence. Plus, he did apologise and said he would never do it now, so I think John should come back as Captain Jack. Eve Miles posted on Twitter that everything's okay, which is good. I agree that hate needs to stop. And like I said, it would be nice to see John return as Captain Jack as well as Eve as Gwen Cooper. I will leave it at that. So Ryan and Graham decided to leave the TARDIS to stay at home, and it's so sad to see them go.
Bye, fam.
I am happy that they're not killed off. Yaz, of course, decided to stay with the Doctor. We get a nice ending where Graham kept teaching Ryan to ride a bike on the same hill as the woman who fell to earth, with the glimpse of Grace O'Brien. Nice to see Shonda Clark again. I really love Revolution of the Daleks. It is my top 3 favourite 13th Doctor Jodie Whittaker episodes. It does have nostalgia vibes. It sort of reminds me of Stolen Earth and Journey's End, which I love. Of course, the trailer after this episode introduces John Bishop as Dan Lewis to be the companion for Series 13, aka Flux. What did you think of Revolution of the Daleks? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.